Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are jumping into the community of Kairosoft's 6th international iOS release, Edo Towns. This game places you in the ghetto of managing an Edo-era Japanese village, tasking you with the job of raising a village from scratch. This game is a Japanese culture boiling pot and is the first community building game to reach an international release. Kairosoft came out blazing with their first 5 international titles, but how does this historic game compare to the games with a modern setting? Let's rewind the clock and see if this Edo-era game stood the test of time. With this title being the 6th ever iOS international release and one of Kairosoft's first ever international translated games, this game introduced fans to the first town management style type of Kairosoft game. Despite initially releasing in October 2011 for iOS, Edo Towns wouldn't arrive to Android devices until much later, in August 27, 2012. This is a whopping difference of 8 international port positions compared to iOS. This is the largest discrepancy we've ever seen for international ports when comparing iOS releases to Androids. As we continue to delve deeper into this review, let's uncover why this title was delayed to port to Android for so long. Let's load right into our new town, and right off the bat we have a choice of 3 different map styles similar to Pocket Academy, which is nice for replayability, offering some variety. I think I'll call this village Mount Sunny Boughs. And look at that, it's our first visitor. Let's name him Taro McBauer and select a nice look for him. It's a direct match, he looks exactly like me. On second inspection, this isn't McBauer. This looks exactly like Zorro got his directions messed up again and ended up in the wrong game. I have a feeling he will be a powerful sword wielder. This game starts in typical Kairosoft fashion with an extremely small amount of villages initially. You can also start building straight away, which is a nice touch. Money in this title generates passively as you play from your residents working, buying items at the shops, and paying taxes? I didn't realize they had taxes in the early 1600s, but time to pay up your upper class households. It may be Edo-century Japan and you are living in the 4 divisions of society which are not arranged by wealth, but rather literally moral purity, with classes such as samurais being placed higher in society due to the profound moral compass. But even so, you can never escape the clutch of taxable income. These spectacular castles being built for the emperor and shogun aren't going to pay for themselves. Time to pay Papa Bezos' ancestor, Jeffu Bezos. There's even a nice ambient edition of birds that fly throughout the map in the game. How lovely. You can even select to follow them, similar to normal residents where the camera will pan to follow them, and this will deliver a nice bird's eye view of your town. Terrible puns aside, let's jump into what other gameplay features this title has to offer. Throughout your journey to become the largest Japanese village in all of Japan, you'll be tasked with managing both the inhabitants and their shops and facilities. This game shares the most similarities with Pocket Academy compared to other titles that we have seen so far, but with more emphasis on managing the growth of the town and the people themselves, as opposed to them just graduating and leaving. The signature aspect of this title revolves around yield, which is similar to scenery in Hot Spring Story and Pocket Academy. Scenery and similar building combos will increase your yield. The more yield that each of your buildings have, the more profitable and successful they will be. Over time, your stores will also level up with popularity, similar to Mega Mall Story when more villagers frequently use them. To unlock more buildings and facilities, you'll have to go through the usual process of investing money and research points to identify them. Research points are gradually earned over time from your residents talking to each other and doing their usual duties. There is occasional interaction and chatter between your village members, but not quite on the same level as what we saw in Pocket Academy. Thankfully, that means that there is no heartbreaking love proposal rejections in this game. Taro McBauer will have a chance at love here. I mean, they call Taro the fruit ninja of the Edo era. No cubed watermelon is safe from his swift blade. Who could resist him? As you progress through the game, you'll access more facilities for your town to unlock, one of the most noteworthy being a castle. The castle is a massive structure that you can build that increases the yield of all the stores in your town. The castle is a massive structure that is an absolute behemoth, towering over all the non-castle dwellers. Just check out the size of this thing, it's humongous. I do personally think it is a bit of a wasted opportunity that you can't really customize the castle at all. It would be really nice if you could customize the walls or even the length of the entire castle, rather than it just being one static structure. It's also a bit disappointing that the only purpose to it is to provide a small buff to structures. I mean, no one even lives in it. Taro, the fruit ninja, would happily claim that throne. There are a whole host of structures to unlock, so you will have plenty of new stores, facilities, and even house upgrades to customize your town in great detail. You can even unlock additional movement options for your villages, such as horses. Edo-century Japan, what a much simpler time. A beautiful time where you could just simply jump on your horse, go down the street and grab some sushi, and not have to worry about any My Little Pony references. In typical Kairosoft fashion, this game allows you to modify every aspect of the map and truly make it your own. The sheer amount of buildings allow you to truly customize this village to be your dream community, one that would truly make an emperor proud. As each year passes in the village, the annual village rankings get released and you have the goal of climbing to be the #1 village. This village is going to be the backbone of modern Tokyo. I also like the animation shown when you get a new higher placement on the rankings. This guy on the right here on the stilts is just such a prankster. Oh, will he fall? No, just joking. Unless, haha, nah, just having a bit of fun here. We like to have fun in Edo, Japan. Just make sure not to fail to enter the top 100 list because, well, this happens. There are a couple of notable Kairosoft quirks in this title, the most iconic of course being building combinations. Similar to other titles, you will eventually unlock building layouts which benefit each other if placed within a similar tile radius to each other. However, this game truly shows its old age by not having any aura feature at all. They are switched on off as often as they are on the characters when they combust into the flames themselves. This game is the first international title to introduce animals that roam in the area, which is very unique in its own right, and is a nice relaxing way to view an auto-scrolling view of your entire town. But overall, for this game, the most unique part in my opinion is the actual genre itself it presents to the user. This is the first title to introduce a living community where your villagers stay with you throughout your whole entire journey, as you watch the entire village growth unfold. And this would actually later become a staple in the series. There are countless other titles that followed in a similar style of gameplay where you manage various towns and cities. This overall makes all the residents that you collect feel a lot more personal, as they'll always be around the same familiar faces. Let's check out on what these two residents are talking about here. Looks like these people are having a conversation by the pond. Let's have a look. Hey, did you hear? Well, now I'm intrigued to hear. Go on, spill the gyokuro tea. +1 knife? Oh my god. What are these two talking about? Did she just plan to give the resident a knife? Oh, it's just research points. Never mind then, that's okay. All is well in the name of science. Checking on these two residents over here. Ah, yes, lovely weather today. I see small talk in Edo, Japan was as riveting as it is today. Indeed, quite a lovely day today. There's only the usual 3 exact same clouds that go through the sky, as it is like most days, always repeating daily and never being larger than 1 tile wide. We truly do live in a society that we are building from scratch to be as great as possible. The music in this game is also solid and it matches the Japanese theme quite well. I also do like that the song varies slightly depending on the season that's currently active. Overall, good job on the soundtrack for this one. It does feel authentic to the Japanese setting. Wow, that was quite an amazing Japanese history lesson. Just playing this game alone makes me feel like I've learnt a lot more about the Edo era. Let's grab our business Hanko and stamp down our final thoughts on this game. Oh! Edo Towns has an amazing Edo-centric Japan setting and in theory sounds like a captivating title, but there are some major issues that bog down the pacing and in turn makes the whole experience suffer from being as great as other Kairosoft games. The biggest issue I found with the game is that it is mind-numbingly easy, even with me trying to deliberately run out of funds by placing large amounts of buildings as soon as I started a run. I never even got close to running out of funds. There also just isn't a large amount of content to the game, so it is relatively easy to unlock everything rather fast, resulting in the game feeling like you're playing Sims with unlimited money codes. The game will appeal to you more if you just like laying out the towns and cities rather than managing the inhabitants themselves. The game design, as always, is super charming and has a fantastic coherent setting, and it isn't a bad title by any means, but the lack of gameplay elements and things to do just overall make the appeal of this game fizz out quicker compared to other titles. I rate this game 5 Edo Towns out of 10. With all the shogi pieces now laid out on the table, Edo Towns is by no means a bad title, but compared to the quality of other titles that we have already seen on this channel, the amount of content and replayability in this game just doesn't quite hold up in my opinion. This game is an excellent Japanese culture lesson and is filled with all the usual Kairosoft charm, but this game is essentially just the penultimate creative mode village building game. If you enjoy the building aspect of this game, then you'll probably have a blast playing through this title, but if you're looking for more engaging gameplay and constantly having to manage resources, this title might fall a bit short of the mark for you. Kairosoft would later continue to bring back another historic influence game later down the line with Ninja Village, with that title being set in Japan's Sengoku era. So be sure to stay subscribed and hit the notification bell to stay alerted for when I cover that title as I work through every Kairosoft game released. Thanks so much for checking out my review on Edo Towns. Did you enjoy this title or did you find it a bit slower paced compared to the other previous titles like myself? Let me know in the comments below. More Kairosoft reviews are just around the corner, so as always, I hope you enjoyed your stay and I'll catch you in the next one.